Europa is no longer the haven I hoped it would be. For those who do not wish to live under the rule of a dark Kelm, we must play Savior. A secret communications network would allow us to reach out.
Barracks, we're ready. Where is the first relay?
Barracks thanks you.
Alright, where are we going? Just right over here. Can do. I'm going to take my Sparrow over this way at least. And it looks like it's right up here. So let's hack this thing, which you do just by pressing square, because, you know, hacking's always been that easy. How long does this take? Am I annoying you? Okay, I'll stop.
Power's going, Barracks.
Good. 2 more.
So, I know we're supposed to go to Charon Crossing, which is the other way. But I think we have to establish all of these in this particular area. So we're just kind of going all over the main building on top of Variks's little hideout, his little sanctuary. There's not really a whole lot that's actually eventful in this area. Oh, I can't even go up on top of there.
Okay, Barracks, that's 2. Did you hear that? Sounded like voices.
What? Who?
The ones who spoke through me.
We must hurry then. There's 1 more relay.
Okay, let's go down. It's a little creepy. Wonder if something's going on here that we need to worry about.
Oh no, it's them. They're here. They're beckoning us.
Oh, there's just a shard here. What the heck? Do I dare? Alright, I guess I'll commune with it.
We beckoned. You answered. We've kept you waiting long enough. Come to us. Salvation awaits.
Off we go then. Hey Variks, you know about that whole like patrol thing? We were gonna do that, but we got some more pressing matters at hand.
Leaves you thankless. Nothing more than a soldier asked again and again to do its bidding. So we want to thank you with a gift to help you finally take control.
Ghost, I don't know what's going on with you, but you're scaring me. You're absolutely freaking me out. This is the area we started in the very first mission. Let's see. Oh, gosh.
And here comes our guardian. Right on time.
You know, absolutely nothing in that cutscene needed to happen, but I'm so glad that it did. Also, flying fish robot, what is that? I love it. Exo Stranger, we haven't seen you in a very long time. How many years has it been? Like, it's been like 6? Something like that. It's been a long time. Let's talk.
I know. I owe you an explanation for all this. I once asked Guardians to destroy the Blackheart, to prevent Darkness's arrival. Success may have been achieved, but I now know that fate comes knocking sooner or later. The floodgates are open. The darkness is here. I wield it now with intent to stop our enemies where the light cannot. Your resilience within the pyramid proves you're capable of wielding it too. Before us lies what we call a ziggurat. Its purpose is temptation. To begin your training, you must give in. Here, take this. Please understand. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together.
The Exo Stranger has returned. Just as the darkness was inviting you in, instead of warning you to turn back, she says it's time to accept what it offers. The light is not enough to face Aramis and her Dark Council. If you want to defeat them, you must embrace the power of darkness as they have. She hands you a splinter of darkness. This will allow you to wield stasis. There are others like it, all in the hands of House Salvation. Yours is weak now, but it will strengthen as your proficiency grows. Lastly, the Exo Stranger offers you her campsite. As you collect lessons and keepsakes, return here to reflect on your experiences. But first, you must accept the path before you. Begin by attuning your splinter in the monolithic ziggurat on the icy flats ahead. Okay, we're going to have to go and head on over there. But first, Eris, Drifter, what are you guys doing here?
I cannot tell you how relieved I am to see you. We are in great need of allies. And I am in even greater need of a buffer between myself and the ever-obnoxious Drifter. The stranger, you see, is far too reserved to provide sufficient rest from his chatter. I suspect her quiet has more to do with what she has to hide, though I've yet to work out what or why. Still, even these two are an improvement from my solitary studies on Luna. You're lucky to have your ghost, Guardian. As you can surely tell already, this journey into darkness is not to be traveled alone.
Can I talk to you? Or can I only talk to Eris? Drifter doesn't seem to... Oh, no, we can.
Your old pal Drifter was right. It's time to ditch the light, good, dark, bad dogma. Folks are finally starting to see it.
With everything that's at stake, are reveling in being right.
Just let me have this one, Three Eyes. All right? Just once.
All right. Well, I mean, Drifter, I've always kind of agreed with you, but we start to see that the themes of the story are becoming less about black and white, more about the grays in between, about how good and bad are, well, not as concrete as we think they are, at least not within the scope of this universe.
Fallen everywhere. It's like we never left the moon. At least there we had Eris to guide us.
Let the tune. Commune with the Crux of Darkness in Nexus. Okay, well, how are we going to do that exactly? Take a look at our map really quickly here. You will notice that we need to go all the way over here. Where is the Nexus exactly, though? It seems to be close to this area known as the Asterian Abyss. So why don't we head on over that way and see what we can find? So I'm just going to Sparrow all the way over there. And, I mean, technically, can I not just fast travel? Yeah, I guess I could just fast travel straight here to Charon's Crossing. Look, Varix, I'm really sorry about not finishing setting up the communications network or whatever, but I'm just going to keep going past Toe Licking King over here and heading straight towards the Street Abyss. Don't pay too much attention to the names of the people that are playing Destiny these days. There are some really interesting ones in there that I would highly recommend avoiding, especially the PC players. They just have no chill because they can literally change their names to anything on the fly, and it gets pretty crazy sometimes. But this is the Assyrian Abyss. Welcome, everybody. This is the most Vex-themed area of Europa. Vex and Fallen are kind of the two major players here in this expansion. Now we're going to be heading onto the Nexus, which is, well, kind of a giant Vex structure, not unlike something like the Pyramidion back on Io. And we're going to be going all the way down into it and seeing what we can find. Now the Nexus is this first area that we're going to be going right into, and this is what we're looking for to commune with. So let's talk to it. And just like that, we suddenly have access to stasis. Let me explain how stasis works. Stasis, as an element, is all about freezing things. You see these crystals? You break them, they cause damage to things around them. You can do this with grenades and things of that ilk, and it will cause damage to pretty much everything in the vicinity. There are also other ways of creating this, although we do not have access to the full stasis arsenal just yet. You also have little ice shurikens that you can throw to kill things. They seek targets pretty efficiently, I would say. Now, don't be fooled by the ability regenerate. That is just for this part right here because we are stasis empowered. But now let's talk about the super. So on Hunters, you have a super known as Silence and Squall. First you throw Silence, then you throw Squall. Silence freezes everything within the vicinity around it. Squall goes around and basically cleans up everything and kills it all. Very, very simple. It's kind of a double super you're supposed to use in tandem. It's not a very high DPS super, but it is an incredibly good crowd control super. Keeps everything at bay. You can pretty much walk within your own super and never have to worry about anything hurting you. It's very passive in its destruction, and it can still do away with almost everything but the biggest boss enemies with relative ease. As we show it on these majors here, watch as their health still deteriorates pretty quickly here. It's not like obviously the fastest thing in the world, and it does keep them kind of locked in place as it does damage, but that is pretty much what makes this super what it is. So this grenade right here is meant for throwing basically right on top of your enemies. It's going to have future applications that make a lot of sense in the future. So future applications in the future. Yes, I said that. Another thing is shattering enemies also causes chain reactions like that do additional damage. So you're going to want to make sure that you specifically target enemies that are already frozen if you can help it. If you have any access to stasis-specific weapons, like I actually do with this weapon here, you can actually break these crystals a lot faster. It all kind of synergizes together. Stasis is a very, honestly, a much more element-heavy an element-dependent subclass than anything we've actually seen with any of our light subclasses, if I could be honest. So now, as we get this big group to spawn in here, this will be a perfect time to throw in another Silence and Squall. We also happen to have a big boss here, so we're going to want to use that. Now, bosses do not freeze in the same way that regular enemies do. It will slow them down, it can still do shatter damage, but it won't outright freeze them like it will with basic enemies. So that's another thing that you have to keep in mind. With all that done, let's head on back over to the crystal and the communion. And our stasis is taken away. Secure a nearby locked chest in Nexus by breaking the stasis seal and opening the container. Let's head on over and get this done, and then we can call this an episode. So yes, stasis is only granted temporarily during these communions. We do not have it permanently. Not yet, at least. Also, this is the currency here on Europa, Glacial Stalwart. You want to pick those up. Again, get some glimmer, much like you do everywhere else. Head on over here. Kill all these things. And you also have to understand that when, and as I can open this now, When Destiny Beyond Light came out, stasis weapons did not
Oh,
exist.
we can use stasis to unlock these latches after all. Let's look inside, see if we can find anything useful.
There was, in fact, exactly one stasis weapon, and it's one that we're going to be unlocking a little bit later on here in the expansion. So, like this one I'm using right now, stuff like this did not exist back then. They didn't add stasis element stuff until, I want to say, almost a whole... I think it was actually with the Witch Queen that we finally got stasis weapons added to the kinetic slot. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm also going to delete this pulse rifle that we got in the last episode because it's garbage. All right, back to Charon's Crossing we go. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Destiny. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.